Well, are we there? Maybe? Yay. Come on. Okay. I know, it's silliness. Good morning, beloveds. I'm awake. I've been awake for about an hour now. And I actually woke up before my partner did. He's usually the early bird, and I'm usually the one who's reluctant to get out. But, yeah, I fell asleep before he did last night, though, so we both went down hard. I didn't take a nap yesterday, though. I went to my acupuncture. I went to get my necklace. Well, I thought I was going to replace it, and turns out they'll fix it. And I was like, oh, okay. So now I've got to go back and get that either today or tomorrow. And then I came home and just did a lot of little things. And I kept getting up and moving around. And both of the cats were somewhere asleep, so they didn't come sit in my lap. And because they didn't come and sit in my lap, I didn't fall asleep, and I got stuff done. And my house still smells like rosemary because I made rosemary shortbread, which I didn't know was a thing. But it is. So I did. And it's interesting. Yeah. Because like rosemary is kind of savory and shortbread's kind of sweet. But now I know I can make gluten-free shortbread, and I'm thrilled about that. So, all right. So we are doing living the science of mind. So let's do the housekeeping really quickly, which is just me reminding you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. If you'll email that will get you one email a week, unless something unusual happens, because we do live in hurricane country, and it is hurricane season. It gets you one email a week, lets you know what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information or the person that can help you get it. So, yeah. I feel like there's something else. We don't know. Oh, it's blind CC, meaning nobody will see your email, nobody will get your email. Very important. You won't end up on anybody else's mailing list because of us. Okay, so there's that. And then the last one is the social media, which is what I was about to say. We don't monetize it because we don't monetize it. Well, yeah. We don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to go engage with the page. Like, subscribe, or follow based on the platform. Like if you subscribe on YouTube, it tells you when I upload the Sunday service or any other videos that happen during the week. And then if you will engage with the individual posts, like comment and share those, it bumps us in the algorithms because we're not giving the algorithms money. So we're depending on you to help us do that. All right. So there's that. Okay. That's everything, I think. And yeah, so let's talk just briefly. There are a lot of comments about this book, depending on who you talk to. Like if you Google it, it says Ernest's own commentary on his seminal work of the Science of Mind text. Yes, that is true. If you read the introduction, it tells you that it is a collection of essays from an at-home course. It used to be in the back of the Science of Mind magazine where you could mail off and they would mail you a lesson that you could study at home. And there were 48 of them. So, but my pet theory is the take-home course, the at-home course, and this book came out of people coming up to Ernest after a lecture, or they would write to him and say, hey, tell me more about this. So, that's my pet theory. Can I test it? Maybe. Am I going to? Probably not. So, now, I don't know what I was about to say there. I really don't. The title for today, let me turn that down, is What Goes Out Must Return. So let's see what Ernest has to say about that. What goes out must return. After the newcomer to this field has learned of the creative power of thought, they are intrigued by the wonder of it. They are fascinated by the fact that thought is creative, that what they think takes form in their experience. What could be more natural than they should begin to use this law for every purpose possible for the benefit of themselves as well as others? There is nothing wrong with this, for salvation does begin at home. All right, Ernest. And only the one who has proved this law for themselves is in a position to use it for others with any hope of success, which is one of the reasons why we start with parking spaces. You know, we want you to road test this. We want you to try this out, see if it works, because we believe it does, you know? So we want you to try it for yourself. At first, we are prone to treat everything and everyone around us in an attempt to influence our environment and other people and to exercise control over things up to our own liking. Most of us pass through this phase, but it is only a phase. It is only a phase. Oh, okay. Sorry. As we progress in the science, we come to realize that the aim of scientific treatment is not to control people or things. We treat ourselves, our own mind, our own consciousness, no matter what the desired end may be, and gradually we learn that, as Emerson said, we must stay at home with the cause. What? All right. Always find it interesting when he cites his sources. But there he did. Our thought does not go out to influence persons or things. What it does is readjust our own consciousness, our own thinking, to include a larger and more harmonious field of action. We learn that when we get our own consciousness straightened out, things in our external world, adjust themselves to meet our new and better inward awareness. What? I know it works, but sometimes the way he says things is just like, what? Especially when you have conversations with people and it's like, wow, you live in a really scary world. Okay, now there is a reason for all of this, and like everything else, the process is governed by an exact law. When Einstein announced that everything sends back upon itself, even time, space, and light, he was scientifically and mathematically approving what the divine intuition of the ages had always taught, that everything which goes out will come back again. This is why Jesus said, for all that for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. And why Emerson said, if the red slayer think he slays, or if the slain think he is slain, they know not well the subtle ways I keep, and pass and turn again. Okay, honestly, I'm not familiar with that Ernest Holmes line, and that's one of those where I could hear Reverend Norm in the back of my head going, you need to read that in context. So, like, I'd like to know where that came from in Emerson so that I could read that in context. Because what? I mean, I get it, because he quoted the if you take up the sword, you'll perish by the sword. So, that which goes out will return again. Why? Because everything travels in circles. It's called reciprocity. Yes. This Einstein has proved. This the great teachers have taught us. Everything moves in circles. Therefore, the outflowing or beginning of any sequence of action or reaction will have to be equal to the immoving or backflowing or the return of that sequence. Okay. Out of the pagan traditions, they say what you send out comes back to you thrice. So in the pagan traditions, they are very, very, very careful with curses and wildly abundant with blessings. The more I bless, the more blessings come back to me. But if I put a curse, then that's going to come back to me, and it's going to come back to me 3 times. So we don't do it. We don't do it. It's not worth that. Okay. In a certain sense, we can say that since what we push out must move in a circle, it must move back to its original position, and in completing the circle, reunites with itself. What we push out from this one point will return to the same point from which it was pushed. Okay, he's about to give us an illustration, but that's one of the things that when we talk about love, it's like push love out, do love, do as much love as you can, because it will come back to you. It won't necessarily come back to you from the direction that you pushed it out, though. That's just the nature of circles. It will come back. It just may come back from an unexpected direction. Okay? So, for an illustration, let us take a person who has learned that they can use the law. If they have been more or less lonely and without friends, it is quite natural for them to start treating people to get them to like this person. Okay. They might say, wherever I go, I shall be met by love and friendship. I shall receive with joy, and I shall be appreciated. They feel that their thought is going out to influence those whom they contact. Okay, that's not the way this works. But that's yeah. Now, the person is right as far as they have gone, and they will get definite results. But sooner or later, they will discover the real secret. Okay? Like I said, that's not how this works. Which is that if they are friendly, they will attract friends. Okay? If they are happy, they will attract happiness. They will no longer expect to influence people. Their consciousness of love will have so expanded that out of the fullness of their heart, they will exclaim, I love everyone. I am love. I am a friend to everyone. Nothing that is good is excluded from my consciousness. This person has set up a center within themselves that automatically radiates to every circumference in their experience. And because everything moves in circles, it will again return to them. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. This example is trying to treat other people. You treat yourself. Once you start radiating love, once you start radiating friendliness, then people will be attracted to you who will be friendly and who will love you. That's the way it works. All right. Like I said, in circles, it will return to them. The burden has been removed from their mind, and they know that they can stay at home with a cause which operates upon nothing but themselves to produce the desired result. This is one of the greatest secrets of this science. Because when you're trying to work on other people, that takes a lot of effort because you are going against the way it works. So you're busy putting all this willpower and effort into something that would be so much easier if you worked on yourself. Like, you do the work inside, not out there. Much, much, much easier. Takes a lot less power that way. Of course, this same principle can be applied to everything we are doing. I am success. I am happiness. I am joy. I am one with all the good there is. I understand everyone, and everyone understands me. The real secret is that everything moves in circles. Everything bends back upon itself. What goes out must return. What is embodied within will complete its own circle. And if we wish to enlarge our experience, we must increase our capacity to understand, to feel, to embody, and to know. Again, we are brought back to the saying of Jesus, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." In other words, if we really know the truth will make us free, because the truth itself is freedom. It is wholeness. The truth is God. Okay, and then I'm going to skip that page because we've already done the law, school, art, master. And instead, we are going to move on to specializing the mental law of cause and effect. Not today, but tomorrow. that's one of the things about learning science mind. When you first come into it, they teach you, okay, well, here's how you can influence your world. And a lot of us do start out by going, oh, well, then I can influence people and make them like me. You got to be likable. So you do the work inside. That is one of the things that can make practitioner work effortless. Effortless. Because what you are doing is knowing the truth, the spiritual truth about the person that is coming to you. You are not trying to change that person. You are knowing the truth about them. Now, the other part of it is the person that you are knowing the truth about has to be willing to accept the truth. That's one of the reasons why sometimes what we call it is holding space. As practitioners, we call it holding space. I am holding space for you to recognize the truth yourself. Because I know the truth about you. God knows the truth about you. We're just waiting for you to catch up. So, that's one of the things that is so amazing about being a practitioner is because you get to know the truth about people. And once you get it, and the more you practice knowing the truth about people, the easier it gets. And you get to know the truth about yourself. Well, what is the truth about yourself? You're a beloved expression of the divine. If you start with that premise, anything is possible. That's why I say it every day. So now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a you got this day, a have an amazing sun day. It is sunny today. Whether it'll say that way, I don't know. I haven't looked at the weather out today. A dance in the sunshine day, a be with your community day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a send it out day, knowing it will come back day, a do your own work day, a take a nap day, a take a break day, a eat something amazing day, have a little fun day, a good day, and if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. As I've said before, and we'll say again every day, you are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? Think about that like a sapling. As the phrase that I heard said, you are the essence of God. Not the allness of God, the essence of God. Godling. All right, beloveds. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, all things are possible. Okay, I think I'm good. Now I'm just going to... Now's when I get to turn you loose. I'm going to remind you that Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 tomorrow. However, it is Sunday, so we are going to have an amazing service for you right here. We're in the middle of a dynamic, he called it a dynamic something series. The dynamics of science on mind. Maybe it's not. Oh, no. I think that was last month. I think we are savoring grace this month. So, all right. So, there we are. Yes. Moving forward, and I forgot where I was going. Oh, the service. Yeah. So there'll be a service right here on Facebook Live. If you're in the area, come see it, because there will be a midsummer meditation after the service. And like I mentioned, rosemary cookies. That's where you can get those. If you're watching this at some other time, roll up one video. All right, beloved. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.